All right, today what we're going to do is talk about maintaining the lubrication on a garter carriage that's been deep soak clean.
Okay.
All right, what we want to talk about today is your garter carriage is all spanking clean, all the old grease is gone. Now, either I've done it or you've done it, but we have to keep it lubricated. Now, what I'm going to say is, all right, this is a light spray. And that's what you're going to need to do for this needle operating mechanism here. But now what about inside the carriage where it's all clean, but we want it to stay clean and lubricated? Now, needle goes in, not needle, but straw goes in here, really good, right in here.
More than a light spray.
Right, yeah, really good.
2 to 3 seconds.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Now, here's what we're going to do. When we get through, we're going to leave it upside down so that any excess drains all the way down in there.
So it works into the carriage rather than out on the mats.
Then, when you turn it up to use it, any excess works its way back through. And then that way, there's no excess left. It's just all lubricated. Now, inside of here, this side is where your direction change takes place. So, move it around. Also right in here, move it around, side to side. Right in here, this is your main drive. Right in here. Right in there.
Everybody, I'm having to hold the camera by hand to spot these things, so I apologize for the jiggling.
Right in there. Okay? So now basically what we've done is gone back through the carriage right underneath here. Can you see that? There's a spot you need to give it a good one. But now what we've basically done, and from the back side here, just a little.
Do that again?
Right back here.
Okay.
So you can't get to it as well here.
No, you can't.
But if you lift it up, you see it very, very clearly. Mm-hmm. So what we've basically done is re-lubricated this carriage just like I would have done when I worked on it to begin with. Now right here, there's your row counter, a 1, 2, 3 right there.
And the row counters will stick because we've seen them.
They will stick, right. I've had to soak them with the LPS1. But that little 1, 2, 3... if you use it a lot, do it every month or so. If you don't use it a lot, twice a year, 3 times a year. We just had a lady talk about hers not wanting to turn around. Here's your turnaround mechanism right here, so give it a good shot. And your feed dogs in the back are hard for you to get to, but if you look right in here, you've got a spot that you can go all the way across and get inside the carriage without taking the covers off. And this is what I'm trying to show you is how to keep it lubricated without taking the covers off. So it's something you can do. Now, we just let it sit there. Every little bit of excess is draining down into the carriage. When we go to use it, we turn it right side up. It works its way back down again.
It is true that sometimes after a good cleaning and a really thorough lubrication, it drips a little bit, so run some waste yarn to make sure.
Absolutely. All right, now, a question has come up. What if I get the spray in a spot that I don't want it? Well, with the food grade, there is no spot that you can get it that you don't want it. Because if it gets on these surfaces, that's fine. Those surfaces slide back and forth. It's not going to hurt anything that it gets on. It's only going to help whatever it gets on.
But there are lubricants, if you find you need to substitute and it's working for you,
yes,
that should not get on the, what is it called, a circuit board.
That's right. That's right. And see, right in here, you can see a connector to the circuit board for your row counter board, and this is your on-off. This is not going to hurt it. If it's a petroleum-based product, you don't want to get it on that circuit board, and I'll try to tilt it where you can get a shot in there. You may need to stand to one side and let me turn this. But there's your circuit board right in there. If it's a petroleum-based product, which is what I've tried to get away from for years, You do not want it on the circuit board. You don't want it on the motor control, which is on this side over here, right inside there. I'm pointing with the red straw. But with this, that is not a problem. And one more area, let me highlight right here, is your shuttle for your needle. A good 1, 2, 3 right there. And I don't know if the camera can catch it, but right here you can see me wiping up a drip. And it's not going to hurt a thing, but that is why we want to leave it upside down until we get ready to use it again.
So this particular product, if it gets on the surface and it's slippery, just wipe it off, no harm done.
Yes, absolutely. Blue Shop towel works just fine, any type of paper towel.
Jack buys these by the case.
Yeah, you want to wipe it off of any surface that you're going to handle so you don't get smudges and fingerprints. And
it's just slippery.
Yeah, because it's slippery. It's slippery when you go to handle it. But one thing about this food grade is it is a dry silicone lubricant. So once it has sat here and it has dried on the surfaces, it's still lubricating, but it doesn't make it nearly as slick to handle.
Oh, and that's one of the questions we get. I lubricated it, I saw it go on, but now it's as though it's not there, because that's how it seems. It's working differently than petroleum lubes.
Yes, exactly. It's nothing like the old lithium grease that these were done with. And this is the first garter carriage I've ever seen that was unused. And when I pulled the cover off, all the grease was on the top. And evidently that was their industry standard. Put the grease heavily across the top of it, and as it runs, it soaks down inside of the machine.
But you did say, in spite of it being unused, the grease was compromised by age and very sticky. Is that right?
It was really hard to wipe off, so I basically washed it off. And as I sprayed with the silicone, it got smoother and smoother in operation. So evidently, the grease hadn't ever done anything as far as lubricating the carriage. So we're doing the same principle that they did. We're going to let gravity work for us. The gravity is going to take it to the top of the machine when we spray it. Then when we turn it upside down to use it, the gravity is going to bring the lubricant down to the bottom of the machine again.